Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Corn Star, and welcome to the 100% restoration and remodel of my great-great-grandfather's $7,000 mansion. For today's project adventure, we are going to be focusing our efforts on getting things ready to pour concrete in the underground movie theater. So the thing that we are waiting on in the underground movie theater is for our rebar to come in, because we need to get the rebar set up inside of our footings, so that way when we pour concrete, we have things nice and strong. Now, 8 days ago, I ordered rebar, and yesterday I called in to check on the status because they said it was going to take a week before the semi-load came here, and I don't think that they put in the order. So right now, we are kind of sitting on our hands until the rebar shows up. So Roman and I this morning came up with our today's non-efficient to-do list. So item number 1 on our to-do list is to build some sawhorses. Roman asked me to bring some sawhorses out so that way he could have some stuff to set boards on. So I brought out the 2 sawhorses that I have, and I guess they don't meet the status quo for Roman.
What a joke. That's why I have to build my own.
Once Roman gets the sawhorses built, the next thing that we need to do is we need to get our new table saw set up. This is the first time that I have ever had my own table saw, so I'm actually fairly excited for this. If I can get it out. There. We're gonna be getting this bad boy set up. Remember how we said non-efficient to-do list? Well, to add to the efficiency of setting up our table saw and our sawhorses, we need to get our dirt pile moved. And I'm not talking about the big dirt pile over there. I'm talking about that little one that's sitting right on the edge of the driveway. It's kind of obscuring our path between our big hole here and our dirt pile where we get equipment through. And if it rains, that thing's gonna get all muddy and it's gonna make the driveway a big mess. So we need to get that thing moved over to there.
Then we're gonna rip the boards with our new table saw. And I'm not spending my money, so this goes down here.
So while Roman's taking care of these 1 through 4 items, I need to call the rebar place because they said they were going to, today is Friday, they said they were going to deliver Monday or Tuesday. So I'm interpreting that as they're probably going to deliver next Thursday. And since we literally cannot do anything else until we get the rebar, I'm gonna call up there and I'm gonna go see if I can pick up a trailer full of rebar. So at least we can start getting things set up. And then while I'm in town, I'm also gonna be stopping by the store. I need to pick up a one-handed reciprocating saw for some of the plumbing stuff that we're doing. And then while I'm at the store, I'm also gonna see maybe about buying a set of sawhorses so that way we have a foldable set, and then also a roller stand, whatever a roller stand is. Roman says we need it. And then last but not least, our mini excavator is due for its 50-hour service interval, so we need to get an oil change into that thing, and then there's a couple other filters, and there's a whole bunch of stuff with it. But if we get a wild hair in us, we're gonna get the mini excavator taken care of too. What are you doing? Roman, what are you doing?
Somehow I need to work out. Spending all day at work. I need to work out sometime.
Don't you have sawhorses to build?
That comes after the lift.
Could I put in an order off the grill?
Yeah. What can I get you?
Can I get 5 cheeseburgers, please?
Yep. Anything else?
That should be it.
One thing to note, every time she has anything else, mention not burned. Because they'll come, I'm okay with dry, like that's fine. They want to make sure the meat is cooked, but they come burned.
Hey Sarah, this is Cole. I called you yesterday. I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah.
We're pretty much at a standstill right now on our job until we get rebar. Would there be any possibility I could come up with a trailer and get some number 4 and number 6?
Yeah, you sure can.
Okay, is there any specific time or can I just come rolling in?
As long as you're here by 3:30, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I'll see you at 4:30 then.
Okay, you're gonna have to load it by yourself. Just
No.
so you know what you took. No.
Okay, I will be up there in a little bit. I have about a 45-minute drive up, so I'll be probably
Okay.
taking off in about an hour or so. So probably around 2 o'clock I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, bye. Sweet, we're gonna have rebar.
Before you leave, can you help me unload the box?
The box?
Box.
For what?
with a table saw.
Roman, have you seen your arms before? Are you kidding me?
You see the box? It's big. Box is bigger than me. I can fit in this box.
You cannot fit in that box.
Okay, I could have carefully done this, but I wanted you to watch me do it, I guess. Here, thanks.
You're welcome. Good job. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I'll get the reciprocating blades. Can you hold these for a second?
Saw blades.
There you go. Oh, thank you. Whew. So much better. Roman and I have developed a bit of a shopping addiction. Every time we go to the box store to get supplies, they have these blades. Normally they're like $10 a blade, but they're literally on the clearance shelf for like $1.89. So we have a whole stack of them inside, but every time we walk by, we just can't resist the $1.89 sale price. So we just keep buying like 5 of each of them every time we're there. So eventually we're gonna have like 200 of them in here that we don't need, but it's just too good of a deal. We're not kidding. We have a lot of them. Plus all these new ones. We can start wholesaling these things, Roman. Buy them for $1.89, turn around, sell them for 10 bucks. We just found out big box store arbitrage.
Just whatever you do, don't back up into this.
Don't back up into it?
Not reverse.
Tell me when.
Forward. Forward.
Are we good?
It's already beeping.
No, it's not.
Probably so close that it's not even beeping anymore.
Now, as annoying as not having the materials here today that we need is, it's actually sort of relaxing at the same time, because over the last 11 months we have been hitting it extremely hard. So by not having the materials here today, it just allows us to kind of have some time to get things set up, buy some stuff that we need, and have fun. So we're actually going to be having a treat today. We're going to get ice cream from the grocery store.
Before we start using the saw, or we are able to use the saw, we need a sawhorses. For sawhorses we need 2x4s, and I don't want to really cut too many of the long pieces, even though they're crooked. I picked the ones that are not gonna be used because how crooked they are, so we can chop them down. But there is also some pieces of the boards that are short and we can use in the hole. So I think I'll just gonna toss them in here and do all the work here up above where it's not very nice and windy. But it's okay, it's not that cold anyway. I'm not gonna be trying to reinvent the wheel for the sawhorses. I just simply went online and found the sawhorse that already has all the dimensions, so I just simply follow it and cut it and screw it together. The only thing I might have to recheck with table saw is the height of it. I want to have sawhorse that will be the same height as the table saw, or maybe a little bit lower, but for sure not higher, because when I'll be sliding the board along the top of the table of the table saw, I don't want to be hitting the sawhorse. I want it to be the same level ideally, or maybe slightly lower. So we need to check the height of the table saw first. And if it doesn't say anywhere in the box, I guess we'll have to open up the box and just measure it. 85 pounds, that's all I can see. So let's open this up and check the height, and we'll go from there. There's so many little parts that almost will need to read a manual how to put it together. Nothing seems to be damaged, so we don't have to waste time running to the store returning this table saw. So everything seems to be intact, and we can proceed to assembling this thing.
You know what? While we're in here, we've been enjoying this stuff, so we're gonna get some of this. Can I film in the store, Tandy?
As long as I'm not anywhere in it.
Okay, I will use this clip. Would I be able to steal 4 chocolate ice creams?
You can do that, yes.
And I think I already have food in here, don't I? In that bag? 5 cheeseburgers?
5 cheeseburgers?
Yep. If you're not from a small town, you may have never experienced this before, but around here, pretty much everybody knows everybody. You may not know them super personally. and you may not even know their name, but you see them every time you come into town and you talk to them just like you know their name and know who they are. And it's nice. And if you needed to borrow their car or sleep on their couch or have them get you something, they would do it, even if they really didn't know who you were. And that's what's really cool about a small town and what I really enjoy. Now, the bad thing about a small town is, well, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. It keeps people from being as troublesome because word spreads in a small town because everybody knows everybody. So if you develop a bad reputation for yourself, you're gonna get treated like you have a bad reputation, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it helps straighten people out.
Here we go. We have a directions now, the picture to follow, and we're gonna start putting this thing together. Piece by piece, picture by picture.
Hey Roman, why is that not done yet?
Because they took the table saw, broke it in 100 little pieces, they put it in the box.
I thought you said you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I have manual.
You actually read that?
No, I'm looking at the pictures.
Oh, smart, smart. Did you try fitting in this box yet? I still don't think you'd fit in there.
It's huge, what do you mean?
All right, hold on a second. Do you got any packing tape?
Ship me back to China.
This didn't come from China. It came from Menards in Iowa. Uh-oh, Roman. We got a little bit of burning action going on here.
Well, because you didn't ask, not burn.
Well, you already had them made before I got there, and I forgot to ask them on the phone. You know how you can tell what kind of person somebody is by how they like their steak done? Well, I like onions, pickles, and mustard on my hamburgers. So if that says anything about me, I don't know, but that's what I like. You probably want like sauerkraut on there and sourdough bread.
Sourdough bun. Sauerkraut could be on the side, but not in my thing.
What about relish? Do you like relish?
No, too sweet. Too much yellow 6 or yellow 5.
What about green 22?
They didn't have it. I started making stuff up. All of these nuts and bolts that I just put in, they are not tightened because I don't have a wrench. I guess maybe there is one that might fit. No, it won't. But so I'm gonna go and find actually the socket that I can put on the impact to make this process much faster instead of hand cranking it. So let's go in the shop and see what we can find. Looking around doesn't look like we have a dedicated impact, so I hope we can find an adapter for our 1/4-inch impact, like a little square drive. Well, there is a progress, but I was looking for 3/8 and we found a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch, so 3/8 would be in the middle. So I hope we can find actually the 1/4-inch drive socket, and then we're golden. We found the right size, so I think what I'll do, we probably will need a deep well socket, so I hope we have those. Yeah, I think we do. How about this one? Yep. And this one will work.
I'm now going to run down to the main heated shop. We have my black truck down there and the skid loader trailer is hooked up to that with the skid loader on it. Roman is going to need the skid loader to move the dirt pile, and I'm going to need the skid loader trailer to be able to go get that rebar. So I'm gonna go get that from the main heated shop, bring that over here, unload the skid loader, and then we are going to head into town to see if we can pick up our rebar. Hello, skid loader and skid loader trailer. Okay, we are going to have to unload this plywood because we cannot go down the road with that, and then I better check the back for straps because we're gonna have to strap that rebar down, and we do not have any that are big enough. Oh yes, we are going to need these big hunkers. That one is not a whole one. What about this one? Yes, that one will work. Here we go, pit stop, hard on the brakes, she's in park. Okay, door didn't unlock. Whew, here we go, gotta flip off the plywood. Got one sheet right here. Two sheets. sheet number 3. Oh, that one's just a little bit sharper on the edges. Gotta be careful, don't want to get a splinter. Whew, that's done. Okay, is the trailer strapped down? No, it is not. We can back right off. Okay, somebody ate a popsicle. Okay, there we go, perfect. Hopefully that bounces off going down the road. All right, Roman, I'm heading out.
Finally. What's taking you so
Yeah, I
long?
brought you the skid loader, okay? I'm just kidding. We are going to broom the trailer off just in case there's a car behind us or something and a bit of this dirt falls off and hits it. We don't want to cause any problems, so it just makes it easier if we have a clean trailer.
As I told you, and as it was expected, I went through some hiccups here, and now I'm thinking I'm on the right path. Like I said, if you follow the picture, you might not pay attention to some details, then you do a few steps and then you realize, oh, it's not actually how it is in the picture, and then you go back a couple steps and then you do it right. So I think we're on the right path now. Good thing we have this impact, makes it much quicker. Now that we spent half of the day playing with the saw, we can finally move on to the test number 2 or 1, is building some sawhorses. Now that we can measure the height of it, and it is 33.5 inches, and we're gonna make it 33.
Now Roman doesn't know this, but we also have another item on our to-do list. So it was Roman's birthday on Monday. It's Friday today. I completely forgot about his birthday. But I was talking to him this morning and he said that his impact that he has is starting to get a bit wore out, and so he has kind of been thinking about replacing it. So when we go to the store today to pick up the power tools that we are going to be getting for the job site, I'm going to pick him up a new impact. So I was kind of probing around a little bit, trying to be sneaky, asking what kind of brand that he wanted and what he wanted. So we're going to be surprising Roman with the birthday present, getting him a new impact. I'm not just gonna go shove a camera in the face of the people inside the office, so you guys may be a little incognito inside of my pocket or something, so I apologize, you won't be able to see what I'm looking at, potentially, but you'll know what's going on. Are you Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Cole, I just called you a little bit ago.
Yeah. All right. How big of a trailer did you bring?
I think it's like a 20-footer, so we'll be about perfect for...
What is your weight limit on it? How many tons are you wanting to take?
Well, I think I have 7,000-pound axles, or 7-ton axles, so I can hold 14. Look at that, we parked right in the perfect spot. That works good. So I got the number 4 right here, and then the other guy, he's going over there, he's getting the bigger stuff, the number 6, and then I guess number 7 is all loaded up here on the bar. I guess this is ours, so this is what will be coming out here on Monday. So look how thick that stuff is. Holy cow, that is some rebar. There we have it. They had to do the dump and drop method with the way the fenders work on our trailer, but it actually worked out all right. So we got number 4 bar right here. So this is half inch. This is the number 6. So this is 6/8 of an inch thick. And then this is our number 7. So this is 7/8 inches thick. So we actually have several more bundles of this number 7. They have that loaded up on the truck. So it looks like they're going to be bringing that first thing in the morning. And then he's actually loading up a few extra strands that we have there to add onto that as well. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get this thing strapped down. I think we should be able to just loop right here, go right over. We did put some 4x4s in the middle, so then that way when we come in later, when we want to unload this, we'll actually be able to get under it, but then also it's going to make it bow in the middle, so we'll be able to strap down the ends, and then this should help build us up some friction, so then we won't have to worry about it sliding. Sometimes rebar can be a little bit tricky to strap down, but I think this is going to work pretty good. And then we also have the help of our skid tractions right here that we have for the skid loader when it gets a little frosty. These have some grip on them, so the little ribs on the rebar will be grabbing this as well. We just don't want to lose anything going down the road, especially when we're around all this traffic. Okay, I've been wrestling with the straps for a while now. I had to get some blocks on these center pieces because the straps didn't really touch them anywhere. I did it also on the front. I think we got these things pretty much as tight as the guitar string now. So we're gonna try to go down the road a little bit, see if I can make it to the big box store, so that way we can get Roman his stuff and get the rest of the things we need. And then we'll see if anything wiggles, and then we'll be able to readjust there if we need to. So with sawhorses, it looks like we have the option of going pretty fancy right here with these $45 ones, or we can go with these plain Jane metal ones down here that appear like they're $20 a piece, and then you just take a 2x4 and you put it on the top. Then if you accidentally run your saw through it or something, you can just put a new 2x4 on. Roman says he really likes these ones, so we got 2 of those. And then that multi-roller thing he was talking about, we had 2 options there. This one is half the price of this one, but this one looks like it has way more options, which I don't know what you'd need to use all them for, but what I really like about this one is the bottom of it, where it actually bases on the ground, is a lot wider than this one, so it's more stable. So we're opting for the more expensive one here, and then for whatever reason, if in the future we need it for these multiple functions, then we already have it, versus if we buy that one and then, oh, well, we need to be able to push something on sideways and we can't, then we have to buy it twice, which I don't want to do. So we're just biting the bullet up front. I believe this is all we need from this store. Before we leave here, I should check all my straps just to make sure that nothing shifted on the drive over here. Front 2 feel good. I'm guessing the last one is good too. Yes, it is. Okay, now we literally are gonna drive on the other side of these trees. Here's the plan for the depot. We're going in, we need to get the one-handed reciprocating saw, and then we got the Roman birthday shopping to do. I do not know my way around this store like I do the other store, so we could be potentially looking for a few minutes, which could be their tactic in here, because you have the tendency of walking out with more than what you intended to buy, because you're looking so much and then you see something and, oh wow, that looks pretty cool, I think we could use that, and then you end up with like 4 things like that. But not today. We're gonna be focused. Don't look at any of this, don't look at any of that, none of that, none of that. We're looking for the yellow stuff. Where's the yellow stuff at? I'm not seeing any of it. Oh man, now I wanna look at this stuff. Oh boy. I wonder if this store has problems with DeWalt stuff getting stolen, because all of the display items for DeWalt, pretty much all of them besides like 5 things, are all located underneath this locked area, which is interesting because everything else is fully stocked. So are they just stealing the DeWalt stuff, or I don't know. I believe the thing we need is this thing right here. So should be located under here somewhere. I'm not a thief, but looking at this cage right here, that's a theft deter. I'm gonna see if I can get this tool out without having somebody unlock it. I think I can. We're gonna be paying for this, but I think I can shove it all the way to the back, and then I can go to the other side, and it looks like I can reach right through that shelf. Let's see what we can do right here. We might have just found a hole in the system. Oh no, these shelves, they can't get behind those. Ooh, well, maybe it's right here. Oh, it's right here. Look at this. Perfect. When it comes to the tools that we run on the farm, we have a lot of DeWalt things because we have all the battery chargers and the batteries for this, so that's just kind of what we have been continually getting. Roman has a rigid impact right now, so I believe he has this one right here, and this one is starting to wear out on him. He mentioned that he would like a Milwaukee one, or when he upgrades, he would like to get a Milwaukee, so we are going to get him the Milwaukee upgrade. I don't know a lot about them. I believe the fuel ones are their top package, so I don't want a socket impact right now. We want like an impact where we can run screws and stuff. So I believe this is the one that we want to get. And then also, this is just the tool, so it does not have batteries in it. So we're gonna get him a couple batteries as well, so that way he can run it, as well as a charger.
Now this is even cooler than I thought. It has a soft start, it has a brake. I have nothing bad to say about this saw. At least yet, but for the price, still. Incredible. Everything is going good so far. We're creating a lot of dust and a bunch of these little slivers that would be perfect for a campfire. But I know it takes about, it feels like 4 or 5 minutes per board, but when you have 20 of them to cut, it's quite a bit of time. So we'll keep going and try to keep the fingers away from the blade, because if your brain gets occupied or distracted and you're not paying attention that your finger is pushing right into the blade, yeah, that blade is just moving so fast, so sharp, it's not gonna take anything to nip the piece of whole finger off. So gonna be watching that and try to get through all that pile of boards, or kind of count how much we need. But it's gonna be pretty much the entire pile, and we have a bunch of crooked ones that we cannot use. So we'll cut the straight ones first, see where we're at, and go from there. Here we are, we got our 2x4s cut. This is gonna be a good start, or even the vast majority of the boards that we'll use. So we'll probably stop here, and I don't think I'm gonna go into the details how it's gonna be used, because it's gonna be almost the very last thing that we're gonna need forming our footer. It's gonna go on the very top, in the very middle of the footer. And actually, I'm not even sure if we need it for the whole zigzag, the whole labyrinth, or just the perimeter. That's why I'm gonna stop right here, and we're gonna jump in and do our pile, meaning we're gonna get rid of it. Got some good progress behind us, and now I feel inspired to build another sawhorse, because it doesn't take much. So we're gonna chop some wood, put it together, and have another sawhorse for the future, for projects to come. So we'll put our carpentry tool belt and get to work.
Happy birthday to you.
Aww. That's for you.
Aww. I'm glad you told me everything you had, because I was gonna get you a thing with a bunch of stuff in it, and everything you said you had was in that. So.
Well, thank you.
All right, Roman, show me your Olympic parallel bars. Can you do the handstand? Or the L sit?
On this, above the I-beam.
Wow, can you do the L-sit?
What is it?
The L-sit. There you go. And then transition it into the handstand. Wow.
No, at the gym, I could stand, but I would fall. I couldn't stand, keep the balance. So the balance is something I need to work on.
Those are some of the nicest homemade sawhorses that I've ever seen. By the way, I bought 2 of the metal ones that you like.
Yeah, those are good. But those are touchy. If you drop something, leg gets bent.
Well, let's not drop something.
You can still use them. That's how mine is, all boogered up, but you can still use it. Once the legs go up, it's not as hard, but it's scary keeping the balance.
My shoulders are sore from arm wrestling all of a sudden. Oh boy, I'm seeing stars. Woo! What does that mean? So with this is a one-handed reciprocating saw. So it's basically a sawzall that you can use with one hand, and I guess uses a smaller blade. I didn't even know they made such a thing. And Roman mentioned it this morning that when we get to the plumbing stuff, it would be kind of handy. So look at this. It's got just these little baby sawzall blades. So we're gonna try this. I honestly did not know something like this existed. It's kind of an interesting shape. Drop it right out of the
warranty.
Yeah. Interesting. Throw a battery in her, see what she does. Apparently the action on this is smoother. So it just does a little bit easier cut for when you're doing plumbing stuff. Whoa. Yeah, that is huge difference. Where's the other saw?
You can still put this one in.
That is so smooth.
I told you.
Wow. It's like a sewing machine almost. I guess while we're here, we might as well continue with Tool Friday. We have that number 7 rebar, and that stuff is absolutely gargantuan, and we're gonna need to be able to cut it, and we're gonna need to be able to bend it. So I went online, and I ordered a couple other tools that I did not know existed. But this box weighs like 70 pounds. Holy cow. Oh.
It's like ammo can.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. I believe this is our rebar bender. Yes, this is an electric rebar bender. It can bend up to 1-inch rebar, which is absolutely incredible, the strength that this thing has. Let's see if we can pull it out. Oh my goodness, that is a tool right there.
How it can weigh so much? So little.
It's like an electric motor. Oh, it is. But you put your piece of rebar in right here, and then you pull the trigger, and then this whole claw pushes forward, and it bends it at 90 degrees. And so it's gonna be pretty slick. And then I think you have the other bit on the end that you can replace it with if you want to straighten out rebar. So you can bend and then you can straighten. So if you accidentally bend it in the wrong spot. So this one is the bender, and then in this other box right here, it's basically an identical design, but instead of having this claw, it's a shearing arm. So you put your piece of rebar in there, you pull the trigger, and then it just cuts it. So that's gonna make it a lot easier than running the saw like what we've been doing in the past, because as thick as this rebar is, we're gonna be burning through blades like every 20 sticks, and we're gonna be tripping our tripper on the breaker like once every 5 seconds, which is going to be super annoying. So this should allow us to be able to get all of our rebar preparation done much faster. What kind of sick joke is this? How are you supposed to get it out of the box?
Pull harder.
Oh, there we go. I thought the other one was heavy. This is the heavy one. Holy tamales. Look at that thing.
Is that how you use a rebar bender? You put the rebar and bend it like that?
So now that we got all of our runaround stuff taken care of, it is now time to address the mini excavator. So we bought this thing brand new a few months ago, and it hit its 50 hours. And so when it hits 50 hours, there's a whole bunch of engine code things that pop up saying service intervals are due. And we were right in the middle of digging the footings for the underground movie theater, so we kept running it. So we are overdue for an oil change and a lot of other changes, but the most important one is the oil change. So Dad actually brought this thing in here the other day, and he got it all power washed up, so it is nice and clean. He got everything opened up, so that way we got some nice airflow to stuff. So it looks like we put our engine oil in right here. Our oil filter is right there, and then our drain plug is right underneath here. So what I'm gonna do, I don't know if this is the right or wrong thing to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna turn the machine on for a couple minutes, let that oil warm up. Then if there's any floaties of some sort in the oil, it will work its way up and be suspended in the oil mixture. Then when we drain it, it'll all run out. We'll get all the impurities out. Then when we put the plug back in the new oil filter, we should have some really nice, fresh, clean oil. And as an extra safety measure, since this does not have a key, I'm going to lay this down right here. So stating we have no oil, not to start it, just in case somebody comes in. If I have to leave during the middle of this, I'm gonna try to do it all at once, but just in case, then everybody's aware. Let's see if we can do this without making a big mess. My dad is pretty notorious for always spilling every time he changes the oil. So I guess we'll see if I inherited that trait or not. Oh boy, oh, that came out easy. Where's the best place to put my hand? I'm gonna reposition this thing. It looks like it's gonna probably get me. Try not to drop the plug. That is some very interesting looking oil. This oil filter design is either extremely silly or extremely genius. They have it tilted forward, so I have a theory that since we're draining the oil right now, that the oil inside this oil filter will also run out. Then when you take it off, you won't be spilling a big mess. But if I'm wrong, then it looks like they made this little drip plate right here, but that drip plate falls right on the top of that thing. I believe that is the starter. And then once it hits the starter, then it falls down there on the frame, and then it can basically run wherever it wants, and then it will eventually meander its way down below. So this is either really smart or really not so smart, which I actually think I'll be able to take a cup right here, which is what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna chance it. We don't wanna make a big mess. Maybe, just maybe. Oh, look at that. That might just work. Oh, how tight did they get this from the factory? See if we can loosen it just a little bit more. This thing up here, whatever this is giving me problems. It's just not giving me quite enough room to get my oil filter wrench in there. We're definitely getting it looser. Got the filter off. Before we put our new oil filter on, oh, this is interesting. The other one was black. This one is white. I'm gonna check the one that I took off just to make sure that's the same number. I checked it before I took it off and I'm pretty sure it was right, but seeing this white, it has me double checking. Okay, so what do we got over here? It looks like 3102 and 7343-102. Okay, yeah, same one, just different color. That's interesting. Well, I need to grab a different color marker now. I'm actually extremely fortunate that we put that cup right there because it caught half a Red Solo cup full. We did have a little bit drip out the backside, so I don't know where it fell down there. I can't really see, but all of that would have fallen on top of the starter and gotten all through here. So I think that was a good call with the cup. You know, this little drip thing right here may not be the most effective, but it does make a nice little spot to get some oil on your finger, so that way you can wetten up your seal. O-ring, seal, I don't know what you'd call it. You know what I mean. We'll throw our hours on the filter, so then when we look later, we'll know when it needs an oil change. So 90 hours. Looks like a gallon gets us right to our bottom dot, so we're gonna try a half a gallon more, and then we'll ease into it from there. I think the whole thing holds 2.5, but I don't know where middle of the lines is. It's a little hard to tell, but 6 quarts, a gallon and a half is smack right in the middle. So based on that, looks like 8 quarts or 2 gallons would be at our full dot. If we can get it in the right light, looky there, just under the top dot, that is 7.5 quarts. So I'm guessing 8 quarts is what it's gonna take. I'm gonna jump up in the machine now. I'm gonna fire it up and let it run a little bit, because I imagine that oil filter is going to suck this down just a little bit. So that's why I think that 8 quarts is probably going to be about perfect. There we go, I was right. We're smack in the middle. Once we filled that oil filter up with a little bit of oil, it pulled us down. So I'm gonna put 1 more quart in, so that way we're 3/4 the way up right between the lines. With the oil now changed in the mini excavator, I'm going to try to get this rebar off of here. So these 3 bundles on the left side, these are the number 4s. I'm gonna try to get them down there. And then this number 7 one, we're probably gonna have to do some preparation with it. Well, we're gonna have to cut it and we're gonna have to bend it. So we're for sure probably gonna wanna do that up here because it's a little bit easier to get around. And this is some pretty heavy bar. I don't even know how heavy one of these things is. I guess we'll find out once we get everything cut apart. So we're gonna keep this one up here. And then this number 6 one, I'm kind of debating on bringing it down there because we're gonna need it down there, but we are going to need to cut these into 4-foot pieces or 3.5-foot pieces. So there's going to be a bit of preparation. So I'm gonna get these ones down there first, and then we'll leave these 2 up top. I feel like I need to take a second to apologize to the rebar people because I basically insinuated that they did not put in my order until I called the second time, which, looking at the tags on the rebar that we just unloaded from the trailer, I was wrong. It was just delivered shortly before that, so they didn't even have it at the location yet, so there's no way that they could have brought it here. So I think they got it delivered, and then they had other deliveries that they had to make, and then we were next on the list. And when I went up there and saw that they had all of our rebar on their truck, then I realized that they were planning on bringing that first thing on Monday. So my trip up there, I probably didn't need to do it, but it worked out. We got the stuff from the store that we needed, and then also we were able to get the truck unloaded tonight, so that way we could get things down in there, and then we could actually get started right away because, number one, I didn't know they were going to come first thing on Monday, and they still might not come first thing Monday. They might have another truck in the back and be going somewhere else. I don't know. But let's say they get delayed on Monday, or the truck breaks down or something and they're not able to make it, then we'll be able to at least continue with the rebar. And I was thinking in my head, the lady said Monday or Tuesday. If the stuff was delivered Tuesday, then we'd be sitting around all of Monday, and then same thing, what if there was another delay on Tuesday, then it would be even later in the week. So we just bit the bullet, went up and got it. It all will work out 100% just fine. So we are now ready to start laying in some rebar. Taking a look at our to-do list, we got the sawhorses built. Roman got the table saw set up. He got the dirt pile moved. He got the boards ripped with the new table saw. I called and picked up the rebar. I got the oil changed in the mini excavator, and I bought the one-handed reciprocating saw, plus a extra set of sawhorses, plus the roller stand, and technically plus Roman's, if I can spell, gift. There we go. So we got all of our to-do list done. Awesome.